All right, hello everyone. Ciao. Sono Alicia. Sono mezza Italiana, mezza Stati Uniti. But I will speak in English because I'm still improving my Italian at the moment. Next year, I will have this in Italian, I promise. It's nice to meet you all. I am the Director of Threat Intelligence for Duskrise here. We are a small business that specializes in cyber threat intelligence. So I'm really excited to bring you all the information, all of my experience working in America and Washington, D.C. with government agencies and bring it here to Italy. So I am so excited. Let's get started. All right, this is a little bit about me. I am leading the Cluster 25 threat intelligence platform that we have at Duskrise. And I formerly worked with the U.S. Department of State. I've worked with intelligence agencies in the D.C. area. I bet you can guess what some of them are. I've also worked in New York City in brand management, business intelligence, a lot of intelligence agencies in the United States. I just recently left McKinsey & Company as a cybersecurity consultant, so I am extremely excited to be leading the cyber threat team here at Duskrise in Rome. All right, so let's talk about why cyber threat intelligence is important. And cybersecurity in general, right? So cybersecurity is political. Data is power. Data is the new oil. I know we've heard all of these different trend phrases going around the internet. So it's really important to focus on cybersecurity. No matter if you're in a government entity, private sector, small, medium business, cybersecurity is our life now. Everything that we do is online. All of our critical infrastructures are functioning online. It's very important to understand what cyber threats are out there. And for example, national security, nationalism, political participation, political connections, violence, conflict, everything is connected to the cyberspace today. What's interesting is cybersecurity can be used to manipulate data, exploit it, augment it. Your institutions, your organizations are not safe if you are not prepared with a cybersecurity plan. And what's important about cyber threat intelligence is that it does protect our values. So non-maleficence, privacy, and the number one here, I'm going to say many times, trust. So trust is the most important part about cybersecurity. And in order to gain the trust of your citizens, of your clients, of your customers, you need to understand what is going on in the cyberspace. So why is cyberspace so complex, right? We have this capabilities, vulnerabilities paradox. So actually, the more you digitize your organizations, the more cyber threats are out there. So the more that we put our information up online, the more complex it becomes. So we need ways, we need solutions, we need platforms to understand how to manage that. So managing that can be done in multiple ways. But the most important thing we want to focus on is using some sort of platform, some sort of technology that can make it easy for us. Because we are still doing our jobs day to day. We're humans. We're not AI yet. So we want to make sure we can manage those complex vulnerabilities that we have. There's also a high degree of anonymity. And that means it's really hard to attribute actors right now. They can be on VPNs, they could be using obfuscation online, anonymity. It's really hard to find out where they're coming from and understand. And if we don't understand, we don't know how to stop it. So that's what's important here. Another thing is in a traditional political hierarchy, we have our superpower, our great powers, and our regional powers, right? Well, we're not living in this age anymore. We're living in the political age of decentralization. Everything online, all of our organizations, our governments are being challenged by individuals, 15-year-old individuals sitting in their mom's basement, right? So we have this power gap that has been closed, and this is the world that we are living in right now. So how do we find the balance in cyberspace, right? So we have the absence of power right now in that IR theory, if you want to get in more depth here, and that power vacuum between the actors and the public-private institutions. So we need to find a solution. There's very low barriers of entry to enter the space to hack an organization. You only need a computer, a cup of coffee, and an internet connection, right? So it's pretty easy to get involved and take down major organizations, major governments. For example, the CrowdStrike hack took out all of United Airlines, stopped all the flights, created chaos. And all that chaos, it could be someone sitting behind a desk that forgot to make the change in the non-production test environment, right, like CrowdStrike. So we need to make sure we can manage that, and we want to make sure we have the trust of our customers. Great. And then an important thing here is we really need to cooperate, and that's something that hasn't been discussed as much. So cooperation between tech companies, government agencies, civil society, this is important, and this is how we can preserve specifically the Italian cyberspace. So here's a few of the actors that we're dealing with now, right? So we're dealing with rogue nations. I bet you can guess some of them. So Iran, North Korea, there's a long list here. Terrorism as well, so activities that are happening in the cyberspace regarding terrorism, so recruitment, the logistics of terrorist attacks, whatnot, everything is happening in the cyberspace. We also have non-state actors, so proxy groups, state-sponsored actors such as APTs, advanced persistent threats. And then we have cyber mercenaries. So those are attracted to nation states. So it's hard to really even make the attribution to some of these cyber mercenary groups to understand who is attacking you. And then, yes, so we have these non-state actors. Then we also have the individuals that are just sitting in their mom's basement. Here are some of the emerging threats that we're dealing with right now. So social media manipulation, disinformation, information operations, foreign interference, taking out elections. For example, the 2016 election in the United States, there was Russian disinformation, propaganda campaigns that significantly affected the outcome of the election. We also have phishing, spoofing. This is probably what you deal with on a day-to-day basis in your organizations. Then we have hacking, data breaches, malware, ransomware, and information operations. So I have a solution for you guys. It's called Cluster 25. And this product that our company has will help you manage some of those threats in cyberspace. So our platform that we have here, we track activity that's happening on the deep, dark, and clear web. So as you can see on the right side here, we have a malware ranking visualization. And using this platform, you can get into the nitty-gritty details and understand what's happening to your organization. Here is an example of the platform dashboard. Maybe some of you came by earlier today to check it out, put your own domain into our platform to see how many IPs have been compromised. And this really helps with the OSINT process, so open source research. Humint, you have the capability of using our platform to track down specific malicious actors. And then we also have CloseInt, so restricted sources and clandestine assets here that you can track. This is how our platform is set up. So we do have our global threat intelligence module where you can put in information about your organization, emails, IP addresses, anything relevant to your organization, and we can find out for you what is happening in cyberspace, what's on the web. So our cyber threat platform can really help you understand your organization in the cyberspace. We have exposure intelligence that has to do with domain squatting, taking down malicious domains, surface intelligence, hunting and investigation, and that you can specifically create rules to find information that you're looking for. And then we also have our tailored threat intelligence services. So at Duskrise, we have a team of threat analysts that can dig deep into the things that you can find on the platform, and we can tell you what you need to do, how to remediate it, and how to make your organization more cyber resilient. So another thing I want to bring up is neglecting compromised data. So what is the importance of finding out if passwords, usernames, any of your information is on the dark web, right? If it's being passed through the hands of threat actors. Well, it's important because if that data is leaked or sold, you are actually undermining the trust of your customers or citizens. Again, there's data privacy laws. There's information that customers don't want out there on the dark web, and it's important to mitigate that and find out if it's there. Also, data flows are important to malicious actors because they can use that information to create information operations, financial fraud, e-crime, whatnot. So we have another solution here called IP NetFlow. What our solution does is we will monitor your activity that's happening regarding your domain or your IP. So we have a solution where we track malicious amounts of data in the dark web, clear web, and deep web, and we can take your domain and tell you what's going on. So we can tell you what information is being passed around, who's using it, where is it going. We can also look into this geopolitically. We can tell you exactly what's going on with your domain. This is a great service for you to just understand what is happening to your organization. And then we can also help you then attribute the malicious actor as well. So we can tell you who is doing that, who is taking the information, who is sniffing your packets, whatnot. We can tell you what's happening there. So what does our IP NetFlow service offer? So we offer metadata capture. So we can tell you down to the last detail what has been compromised. Also, address filtering. We can tell you the volume of traffic, connections and sessions, and then the protocol types. This is all very useful information to understand and be able to attribute the actor who is performing this. More features to our IP NetFlow service. So data visualization, alarms, notifications. We can set things up so you know when your IP has been compromised. We will let you know in real time here. So quickly jumping back to cyber threat intelligence, this is our OSINT landscape right now. And I wanted to show you this picture because it's overwhelming. And when I look at it, it's overwhelming. There's so much happening in the cyberspace. And your organization, your government agency could be in one of these applications here, right? And we really don't have a lot of understanding or visualization on what's happening there. It's almost like the tip of the iceberg, right? So everything you can see above water is what we know, but underneath that iceberg is this massive information, and being able to understand and comprehend that iceberg is really important, and we need a tool that can help us understand. Here's some other things that could happen to you if you are not preventing cyber attacks to your organization, right? There's a lot here. I won't read out all of them, but resource exhaustion, resource segregation failure, abuse of high privileges, access control, denial of DDoS, so distributed denial of service, encryption and key management, undertaking malicious probes or scans. there's a lot of things that can happen here. This is just to paint the picture on how important it is to be one step ahead of the actors. And this is just a funny cartoon here. We must stay focused on the problems of today so we can formulate the excuses of tomorrow. So we don't want to be there. We want to make sure we don't have to formulate excuses. And that's really what's happening today in our world. We're trying to make up excuses for things that we could have prevented. And our citizens, our clients, our customers are aware of that. So a way to prevent those attacks from happening is to use another service that we offer at Duskrise called cyber surveillance. So we have a service that will monitor for you 24/7. We can set up alerts. We can let you know when something fishy has been found. Okay. The last thing that we can help you with in this chaotic cyberspace right now is understand your supply chain vendors. What's important today is all of the new laws that are coming out. For example, NIS2, the EU Cyber Act, DORA is another big one for financial companies. We can help you understand if your vendors are compliant and have that reciprocity of cybersecurity maturity levels to your organization before you decide to acquire them. So what we do is we send out a specific survey test to your vendor. They take the test, they send it back to you, and you get a score. And you can understand if you should partner with this vendor or not. This is a fantastic service because most of cybersecurity attacks have actually happened from third-party vendors. If you remember the SolarWinds attack a few years ago, took out major organizations, companies. So it's really important to understand and prevent that from happening. And what we offer at Duskrise are these preventative services for you to make sure that the end of the day you can have the trust. Again, I say this so many times, cybersecurity is about trust. And if we don't have the trust of our citizens, our clients, our customers, we don't have a society anymore. And that's really what it is. So investing in tools such as Cluster 25 that we sell at Duskrise is something that is a necessary for you. It's necessary for you, excuse me, speaking two languages at once. And it's really important that you do take this issue important because it could be something that you would need to make an excuse for, like that cartoon, right? We don't want to get there. We don't want to be there. We want to make sure we are ready for whatever happens in the cyberspace. The last thing I want to talk about here is AI, okay? AI is a trendy thing that's happening today, but it does make our lives easier. Cyber actors are using AI to create malware to attack. AI is being created to make deep fakes and compromise political figures, distort reality, distort the truth, disseminate or amplify content that is not true. It's important to fight AI with AI, in my opinion. So we need to make sure we're there. So our platform offers AI detection, and we are constantly increasing our efforts to implement AI in every aspect of our platform. So right now we have an AI feature that can help detect if photos are made from AI or not. So this is important, especially if you are doing research on specific threat actors or humans, for example, to see if that particular threat actor is creating a sock puppet, a fake persona online to really understand what is there, right? We need to know if that picture is real or not. We plan on developing more cutting-edge AI services, especially within our threat intelligence capabilities, and really fighting AI with AI. Thank you so much. That's all for me.